My name is Jenny, and I am an adoptive parent to 4 children. 3 of my 4 children were placed at our home at birth, and 2 of them through foster care, and 2 were infant adoptions. They are now ages 20, 18, 16, and 12. So we've had a little bit of time with this now. It's not fresh and new for us anymore. Infant adoption is typically somewhere between $30,000 to $50,000, depending on a lot of different circumstances. But I think that people looking to adopt can expect between $30,000 to $50,000 for an adoption. There are a lot of professionals involved in making an adoption happen. There's attorneys involved. There are people who need to still raise their family and also are involved in the adoption process. And so the money is going towards supporting the individuals that are part of agencies and are supporting birth mothers and just all parts of adoption. It requires money to live. And so while the money's not about buying children, it's about supporting the individuals that are making the adoption process happen for everyone. So in order to become an adoptive parent, you'll need to undergo a home study. A home study has got several parts. There's going to be a background check that you're going to need to do. You're going to have some basic safety stuff in your home. You can't just expect to have a home that has a little bit more going on. You're going to have your home be in basic good repair. You'll have a doctor's visit. The doctor's going to sign a form saying that you're physically and emotionally healthy enough to parent. And then there's the home study piece itself, which is a lot of questions about relationships in your life. They're going to ask you. In fact, for me, it was like therapy. What's your relationship like with your mother? And what does that mean for you? And so a lot of questions about relationships because they're looking to see that the adoptive parents know how to do healthy, long-term relationships. So after my husband and I realized that we weren't going to be able to have children biologically, we began the process of looking into adoption. And we currently had a family member living in our home. And we had said, well, we only have one extra bedroom, and this bedroom is going to need to be available for when we are ready for adoption. And so we had asked this relative to move out. During this process, we got a phone call from this relative, and she called from the hospital. And back then, this was 18 years ago, we had wall phones, and I got this phone call from the hospital, and it was a wall phone, and I picked it up with the big, long, springy cord, and it was this mom, and she said, I'm at the hospital, and I just had a baby, and I'm wondering if you will parent my baby. And she was living in my home. I didn't know she was pregnant, and I dropped the phone. I couldn't hang it up. I couldn't stand up to hang up the phone because I crumpled onto the floor. And my husband was down a hallway and I couldn't walk there. It was a pretty big shock. So I crawled, down a hallway. And when I got to my husband and I said, I got a phone call from your sister and she's in the hospital. And so he was very concerned and very upset. And I said she had a baby. And she asked us to parent her baby, and it was absolute and complete and total shock. And we had been in the middle of gardening, and we were in our grubbies, and we jumped in the car and we ran to the hospital to meet what would then be our beautiful daughter, our first daughter, the child that began our family. And it was an amazing, beautiful, very emotional experience for us. Most of our children, we don't have a relationship with a biological father, but those that we do know who they are, we have a relationship with. And for the moms, honestly, we have as much contact as we possibly can. We have gone on vacation with them and their extended families. In some instances, we've had them live in our home for short periods of time. We do birthdays, we do celebrations. We know that there's no such thing as too much love for one of our children, and our motto is kind of like, if there's somebody that loves our child, we love them too. We're just going to wrap them in. They're part of our family.